Live every day as if it were the last, because before you know it, time goes past and life's just not that long. Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow.
I grew up on our farm in Illinois, 100 miles west of Chicago. I went to a one-room country school, one teacher for grades 1 through 6. And when I was in first grade, at least one time, I sat next to sixth grader Roger Malataka to share a music book. Not enough books for everyone to have one. And I felt a special attraction to tall, dark Italian Roger in this mostly white community. I did not fantasize about sex with Roger. I didn't know all those wonderful pleasures were to be had. But I felt a special, cozy, at-home magnetism for him. Now, I don't know if Roger, as he grew older, was gay, bisexual, or straight. He moved away. Sadly, I do not know if Roger is alive or dead. And when I was 12, David, a teenager, worked shirt-free on our farm. I was very attracted to David. Once, when I was maybe 14, my mother came into our bathroom and caught me masturbating. She insisted that I promise not to masturbate. And after that, I felt terribly torn between not wanting to break my promise to my mother and wanting to keep enjoying my cock and coming, so I started masturbating in a different way. In high school, when certain male athletes came into the library study hall, the invisible spotlight of my attention focused on them. I needed them, but they apparently did not feel the same toward me. 2 male-female couples in my class got pregnant before graduation. I'm glad I did not have a child to parent, but I envied them for having sex. No teacher in high school, no teacher in college told me that many well-known men, past and present, were gay or bisexual, enjoying sex and romance with men. Michelangelo, Walt Whitman, Leonardo da Vinci, Baird Rustin, Langston Hughes, and multitudes more. If you're black or brown or Native American or Asian, how would you feel if your teachers never spoke about well-known black, brown, Native American, Asian people, but only about white people? If you're a woman, how would you feel if your teachers never spoke about well-known women, past or present, only about men? And after I became a sincere young Christian preacher at age 20, 56 years ago, I became friends with many teenage Chicano guys in that town, Sterling, Illinois. Some told me of girls they liked and they dated. I envied them for having sex with girls. I never had, even though I was older than these Chicano guys. I had no openly gay or bisexual friends to learn from, to look up to. I knew several Bible verses condemned sex between men, but the same Bible, sadly in hundreds of verses, supported men killing men in war. And that same Bible had many verses supporting slavery. And no verse in the Bible damns all slavery. No verse in the Bible damns all war. I did not know that millions of men, past and present, have been in love with men and made love with men in passionate romance. I found out years later that even David and Jonathan in the Bible were in love with each other. I suppose most preachers or priests or rabbis that you've heard, if you've ever gone to religious services, have never said that publicly. But they were, David and Jonathan, in love with each other. And later in my 20s, and when I was no longer a pastor, I told my mother I wanted to have sex with someone. I assumed it would be with a woman. But who? I had never seriously dated a woman. Later, I drove from Albuquerque to Juarez, Mexico. I had sex with a woman sex worker there. First time in my life with another human being. But I had looked forward to this so much on my trip down to Juarez, my first time with any other human being. I came before I would have entered her. I was so eager. I had waited for years. How sad that in my 20s, I felt I had to go to another nation and pay a pimp to have sex with a woman stranger I was not attracted to. To have sex with another human being for my first time. My Spanish was not good. Her English was not good. And it was far from romantic for her or me. Later, I had sex with a couple women in Albuquerque and one young woman in Illinois, in the town where I had been pastor years before. One night there in that town at the Latin American Social Club, Sterling, Illinois, I danced with Connie. She said she might not live long. Now, I don't know if that was the truth or if she was just saying it to make me feel sorry for her. She wanted sex with me, she said. I knew she was living with a white man, so I asked her, well, what about Wally? And she said they were liberated. They were free to have sex with other people. I told my dear friend Johnny Sotelo about the situation. I told him out of Connie's hearing, of course. He said he thought she was lonely and whatever happens, happens. I went to her place after the dance. Her boyfriend, Wally, was not home. She and I had sex. And after sex, while I was still lying naked in their bed, she kept going to the window, watching for Wally. And when he came, she went after him. Where have you been? Doing what? With whom? I was still lying naked in their bed. He came into the bedroom. He saw me. He was probably kind of shocked to see me there. He knew of me. I pretended to be asleep. I'm glad he did not attack me. They kept arguing, going after each other, and finally they both went to sleep in other rooms. And as the dawn came in the east, I put on my clothes, I left as a wiser man. I learned that some people, not all, some people who say they are sexually liberated are not sexually liberated. Still hung up on jealousy and trying to cage the other person. Do not be conned as I was that night. Actually, I was sexually attracted to two of Connie's brothers, but I never had sex with them. And for many years, while my parents were still living, I lived part-time there in Illinois, part-time here in Albuquerque. In late 1976, my friends here, Steve and Cease, told me they wanted to take me to a place I might like. They took me to a gay bar on Central. Never before had I been in any gay bar anywhere. I met a young Chicano from Cuba, New Mexico. He and I had sex at my place. My first time with any male. I was 31. And soon after, I told my mother. She said she had never known there were gay people in the world. We were both so ignorant. I had feared losing my many straight friends, straight male friends, here and back in Illinois, if I came out gay. Some did back off from me. Some turned cold. But years later, one of them apologized to me. And since that first sex with a man 45 years ago, I had sex with many men, dozens and dozens of men, Albuquerque, Chicago, San Diego, New York City, Madison, Wisconsin, Wichita, Kansas, Peoria, Illinois, San Antonio, Texas, Ohio, and on our Illinois farm. I tasted romance with some men. Dear bisexual Jose from Mexico, I met when he was 23 at the Spence Hot Springs at Jemez. I had sex more often with Jose than any other man in my life. Over 70 times. I kept track. I wrote it down. I deeply loved Jose. But sadly, he got involved with drugs. He was locked up. His green card was taken away. He was sent back to Mexico. Dear Roberto died of AIDS at 31. I chose my plot at San Jose de Armijo Cemetery close to his grave. My beloved Don died in a car crash at 25. I just went to his grave at Fairview Cemetery a few days ago. I put some artificial flowers on his grave. I kissed the grass above his lips, above his hands, above his cock, above his feet, as I've done many times since he died in 1989, almost 33 years ago. Another Don from Taos Pueblo in northern New Mexico. David, whose father was Palestinian American from Michigan. He was the first man in my life I wept sucking his toes as we had sex in the beautiful outdoor location there in Ohio where we met, a gay nudist gathering. David and I danced together at a Mexican bar in Illinois. We danced earlier that evening at a street dance in the town closest to our farm. The Mexican bar was not a gay bar, but no one attacked us. No one threatened us for dancing together, two men. Often we hold the keys to our own prisons. We assume that we can't do something, and so we don't do it out of fear. Before my mother died in 1982, I often told her about my having sex with men. And once she told me she wished she could be a mouse in the corner. She meant to watch me have sex with a man. Sadly, that never happened. I wish it had. I introduced her to Jaime, a young gay Chicano in Houston. I had taken her to Houston to a nutrition doctor. Jaime deeply impressed her, but he and I never became lovers. In the 1970s, when I was in Illinois, I wrote to my friend Patty Quintana here in Martinez town of Albuquerque, telling her I am gay. And she wrote me back a good letter saying she knew I am gay from the first day she met me years before. And when I was here in Albuquerque, I wrote to my friend Lupe Olalde in Illinois, telling him I am gay. And he wrote me back a good letter saying he knew I was gay from the first day he met me years before. Often friends of gay or bisexual or lesbian persons know years before the gay or lesbian or bisexual persons come out publicly, if they ever do. And sadly, some go to their graves hiding their romantic attractions. I would rather be hated. I would rather be rejected by some people for who I am than be loved by them for living a lie. Life is too precious to fake. Romance is too precious to hide. My mother taught me to tell the truth. I treasure my strong sexual and romantic attraction to certain men. If you're just coming out, tell adult friends you know and trust who have openly gay friends, even if they're not gay, lesbian, or bisexual themselves. But if you know they have openly gay friends. If you're under 18 and your parents are strongly against being gay, you may need to wait until you're at least 18 and can move out before you tell them. Because sadly, there are many, many parents across the world who are terribly prejudiced against gay, lesbian, bisexual people and throw their kid out of the family. In families where the father or mother or both of them are alcoholic, children often learn three things that may stick with them even as adults. One, do not trust. One day the kid comes home from school and the alcoholic parent is kind, asks the kid about his or her day, has a snack ready. And the next day the alcoholic parent curses the kid. I wish you had never been born. You're stupid, you're lazy, you never will amount to anything. The kid learns not to trust even his or her own parents, because you can never predict for sure what they're going to act like. Number two, do not feel. The constant roller coaster of life at home with one or both parents alcoholic makes no sense. It is crazy. Never knowing what mood their alcoholic parent will be in, whether kind or cursing mad. Do not feel. And third, do not talk. Don't tell other people outside the family, at school or neighbors or at church or anywhere, the hell at home behind closed doors. If you do tell, and if it gets back to the alcoholic parent, both parents may be mad as hell at you. You have shamed the family. You told the truth to other people. Not only in families where one or both parents are alcoholic, but also in families where parents have a miserable marriage with emotional war much of the time. 3 awful lessons for the kids. Don't trust, don't feel, don't talk to others about the hell at home. And these can take many years to unlearn. And some people never break free their whole lives. I want to keep learning wisdom until my last breath, if possible, unless I have dementia or in a coma. I am glad, I am eager to make good changes in how I live. I am glad, I am eager to make good changes in how I live. The U.S. spends far more for war than any other nation on earth. The U.S. spends more for war as the next 9 nations combined. A peace-loving country? Hell no. A country absolutely addicted to war. Do I believe white supremacists can change? Do I want white supremacists to change? What can I say or do to help them change? Not just put them down or curse them or avoid them. What can I say or do to help white supremacists wake up and change? And apart from the love, the wisdom, the inspiration I have received from many, many people, I am no better than white supremacists or anyone on death row in this country. Taking antibiotic drugs can kill not just the bad germs, but also the good germs we need to digest nutrients and fiber in our intestines. Many animals are fed lots of antibiotics on the farms to fatten them up faster, so the farmers make more money. But the antibiotics in those animals' meat and milk can cause, and the antibiotic drugs that people take directly from the drugstore, prescribed by doctors, can cause fat bodies, allergies, asthma, diseases of the intestines. When has your pharmacist told you that, or your doctor? Instead of antibiotics from the drugstore, eat lots of raw garlic. I eat lots of garlic every day. Garlic is nature's penicillin. Garlic kills the bad germs, but it actually helps the good germs that we need to be healthy. But garlic doesn't make the drug companies billions. Sadly, the main way young men can get cheers publicly for touching each other is by bruising, bloodying, injuring each other in boxing, football, mixed martial arts, not by strong hugs of deep affection, not by giving and receiving sexual pleasure with each other. What kind of a world do we live in where men touching men often has to be painful or violent to be accepted by society? To be a good, honest, fair cop is not easy. Some reasons I would not want to be a cop: I refuse to carry a gun. I hate guns. I hate wearing uniforms, especially in hot weather. I refuse to enforce laws I oppose. I refuse to shut up about police beatings and killings. How can anyone be a good cop if he or she does not have the conscience, the courage to condemn publicly the violence he or she sees other cops commit? I reject much of the police system, the court system, the prison system. It emphasizes fear and punishment instead of helping people change their lives for the better. The first Thanksgiving Day was proclaimed in 1637 by the governor of Massachusetts to commemorate the wiping out of the native Pequot people, a white massacre of over 700 men, women, and kids, Native Americans. And sadly, the first Thanksgiving Day was proclaimed in 1637 to celebrate that white massacre. Did most of us learn that in school? Hell no. Not enough sleep causes us to crave junk food. Not enough sleep can cause fat bodies. Not enough sleep can cause diabetes, cancer, dementia. Not enough sleep can cause emotional problems, colds, fever, flu, heart attacks, strokes, depression. Not enough sleep can cause memory loss, lower immunity, high blood pressure. So never consider yourself lazy for getting as much sleep as you need to be healthy. We need sleep. There's no substitute for enough sleep. Not all the healthy food that we need to eat, not all the exercise, not all the sunshine. There's no substitute for enough sleep. I aim to go to bed between 9 and 10 almost every evening, and to get up at 6 in the morning. I like to be in bed 8 or 9 hours. And sometimes I take short naps during the day. I've been a gardener for many years, back in Illinois and here. Cutting off a bad weed is not enough. I have to dig it out or pull it out, roots and all, if I want to get rid of that bad weed. And if we want to conquer COVID and all the variants and all infectious diseases caused by bad germs of whatever variety, we need to get to the root of the problem: weak immune systems in most people. Not eating healthy, not living healthy. Millions worldwide have suffered the hell of the coronavirus. My 87-year-old brother in Illinois was hospitalized for 5 days because of COVID. A man I knew here for many years died with it. And many, if not most, of the people who die or get very sick, sadly, are fat, and or they have other serious underlying conditions: kidney disease, liver disease, diabetes, alcoholism, cigarette addiction, cancer, heart trouble, asthma, etc. Sadly, many are teetering on the edge of the grave even before they get COVID. They're just barely surviving with all these conditions. And COVID, sadly, is the final push into the grave. If you have any serious underlying conditions, or if you've been eating crap and living unhealthy, like most people in this country, making big changes now is not instantly going to protect you totally from getting sick. from COVID or its variants. So most of you may get some protection if you get vaccinated, if you haven't already. If I had stayed eating the cookies, the cake, the pie, the ice cream, the candy, the sugar shit, and other junk food, as I did when I was a kid and in my 20s, I might have died years ago. I'm 76. Or, if I had lived till now, I might have been fat and had other serious underlying conditions. Sugar feeds all infections, including COVID. When have you ever heard that on television or read it in the newspaper? Sugar feeds all infections, including COVID. And sugar feeds cancer, of course. If both my mother and my dad were living now with their serious conditions, kidney failure, heart disease, asthma, all three of us might have died of COVID. So it's not that I have some magic. Hell no. But I'm very committed every day to living healthy, eating healthy, exercising, getting enough sleep, getting sunshine, having close friends. I have not been vaccinated. I don't plan to be vaccinated. I've never had a flu shot in my life. I have taken no prescription drugs for at least 25 years. I don't know if I've ever had a complete physical in my life. And again, it's not some magic about me. Hell no. But I'm very committed to living healthy. We're all going to die. But I want to do my damnedest to feel good and to stay healthy until that day of death comes, and not spend the last weeks, months, years, even decades, as some do, suffering hell in their bodies. If I were living in prison, as some of my friends are, or in a nursing home, eating mostly junk food, cooked food, without the healthy raw plant foods and many healing herbs that I eat every day, not able to spend hours sunbathing, which is so important for our immune system, I might have gotten the vaccination for COVID. Some people, like Mary Adkins of Albuquerque, suffered apparently from the vaccination itself. And here is her published letter from the August 19th, 2021 Albuquerque Journal. Mary Adkins writes, "There's no place to hide from the hourly overload of COVID graphs, pictures of shots going into arms, morbid coverage of deaths of non-believers of the shots, or suggestions that we are endangering our world if we do not get the shots. However," she says, "there has been no coverage of the after effects of those shots." She says, 8 months ago, I was vaccinated. I still suffer severe side effects similar to those reported by COVID survivors: weakness, fatigue, coughs. Do I hear cover up? Mary Adkins, her published letter in the Albuquerque Journal. But if you're serious about living healthy in the future, if you really want to start changing your life now, right now, if you want to strengthen your immune system against all infections, from viruses and all other bad germs. Make huge changes starting now and for the rest of your life. And here's how I keep my immune system strong. I drink no booze. None. Zero. Every drop of booze is slow poison to every cell of the body. And of course, you're not going to hear that from the booze makers. I take no prescription drugs. I use no street drugs. I smoke no cigarettes. I eat no meat. I eat no dairy, no cheese, no milk. I drink no sodas, eat no sugar shit. I stopped cooked food in 1998. Cooking destroys most of the nutrients. Not all, but most. Cooked food is dead. Take any seed on earth, cook it, and then plant it. You can water, you can hope, you can pray, you can dance till hell freezes over, and that cooked seed will never, never sprout. It is dead. It has some nutrients, but the life energy is gone forever. We need to eat only living, raw plant foods for the best health. I eat lots of fresh, fully ripe fruit. Apples, bananas, peaches, grapes, mangoes, melons, papayas. Often one small avocado most days. I drink no fruit juice. We need the fiber of the whole fresh fruit. Fresh fruit are my healthy sweets. So I eat sweets, but only healthy sweets from Mother Nature, not from some damn factory or McDonald's. I eat nothing containing added sugar or artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are often as bad or even worse than the damn sugar. I eat no cake, no cookies, no ice cream, no pie, no candy. None of that shit. And when I was a kid and in my 20s, I hogged out on those unhealthy sweets. I was addicted, severely addicted. And that's partly why I have only one tooth left in my mouth. I had surgery on the retinas of both my eyes when I was 28. I was terrified that I might go blind. Sugar and other junk food are hell on the retinas of our eyes. I changed. I stopped the processed sugar shit. I eat no meals in restaurants. I eat no bread. I drink no coffee. I eat no fast food anywhere. Instead of restaurants, save money, save your health by having a picnic with friends in a park or in your backyard, eating only healthy foods. Chew or blend the whole fresh fruit. My main food is 2 or 3 quart jars every day of my blended smoothies. My smoothies are concentrated nutrition from plant foods, raw plant foods. The ingredients now are lentils, pumpkin seeds, flaxseed, purified water, puncture vine herb, hawthorn berry herb, ginkgo leaves, fenugreek seeds, fresh alfalfa from my garden in the warm weather, and dried alfalfa or calitas in the winter when the garden isn't growing. Green tea leaves, extra hot red chili pepper, turmeric, black pepper, cat's claw herb, ashwagandha, eleuthero, which is Siberian ginseng, many healing herbs. And most important herb of all, garlic. 2 or 3 or so cloves, those small sections, in each of my main smoothies. I eat bee pollen, a couple teaspoons, a couple times a day, loaded with nutrition. Sometimes some raw honey. In cold weather, I may include in my smoothies blue corn that I grow in my garden, native corn, the dried calitas that I mentioned that I grew in my garden, and ginger root. I add apricot kernels sometimes if I have them. Sometimes I ate blended carrots. I soak up the sunshine or most of or all of my skin most days all year round. All year round. Sunshine is wonderfully healthy, fortifying the immune system if we eat only healthy raw plant foods. No junk foods, and never burn. If you're not used to it, start out with a few minutes and gradually increase your time in the sun. I like 8 or 9 hours in bed. All of these are so important for our immune system. Hour for hour, the hours we sleep before midnight benefit us more than the hours we sleep after midnight. So no late night parties for me. I exercise vigorously in my room almost every morning after I get up around 6. Chin-ups, push-ups, crunches, many other exercises, long walks on many days. I've drunk my piss for health every day since November 1999, now usually 2 cups as I exercise. I treasure heart-to-heart conversations with friends, new and old and young, male and female. I aim to forgive myself, to forgive others, and to ask forgiveness. Grudges are no good. Loneliness kills. We need close friends. I love to dance. I go to many free or low-priced events, fiestas, to Old Town, Rail Yards Market, Gay Pride Parade, Flea Market, Downtown Growers Market, many places, many events here in Albuquerque. I love to hug men and women if they want to hug me. I love affectionate, passionate sex and romance with certain men, if it happens. I enjoy my garden. I cannot say for sure that I will not get sick from COVID, but my chances of not getting sick from COVID are better than someone who eats and lives unhealthy and gets vaccinated. Sadly, the drug companies selling the vaccines make billions of dollars off this awful pandemic. Why are violent movies called action movies? Why are videos of sex, no matter how affectionate, how romantic, labeled dirty by many people? Why do families watch movies full of glamorized war, robbery, murder, revenge, rape, greed, and booze? Why do families watch brutal boxing and mixed martial arts of man against man or woman against woman, bruising, bloodying, brain injuring each other? Why would any adult want to watch that evil garbage? Why are movies of passionate romance and sex between Juliet and Romeo, or Juliet and Judy, or Romeo and Roger not considered family entertainment? Imagine a world where watching affectionate lovemaking is family entertainment for all ages. Why do many parents prefer their adult son be a boxer, injuring men, or a soldier, killing men, women, and children in war, than for their son to be in love and make love with men? Why are many people more ashamed of being seen naked than they are of paying federal income tax for war to murder our sisters and our brothers in other nations? I have paid not one damn bloody penny of federal income tax for 43 years. About 1/3 of it now goes for war. I compliment you women who wear low-cut dresses or tops showing more of your breasts. Enjoy showing your body. Enjoy being attractive. Enjoy feeling sexy. We cannot show our bodies when we are dead in the grave. And as a man, I enjoy being shirt-free in public when I'm not cold. I strongly support the right of any woman to be top-free in public if she wants to be. Why should women be required by law to cover more of their bodies than men? And as women, men, and non-binary, why waste loads of money on fancy clothes, expensive jewelry, and cosmetics? We can be attractive by being healthy, by being warm, lean, never stuck up, always honest, friendly, dependable. I love to dance to beautiful music, Mexican and Chicano music, older country, Motown, Diana Ross. I do not know the dance steps. I've never taken a dance class. I just do what I feel. I dance with my longtime friend Maria, other women, and often by myself. I would be glad to dance with certain men, but sadly, most men in this society do not have the balls to dance with men in most places, even though women sometimes dance with women at fiestas. Why not men with men? I have no interest in team sports. I damn all violent sports, boxing, mixed martial arts, football. Why would I want to injure and inflict pain on another man's body? Why would I want to injure and inflict pain on my body? I'm devoted to many exercises almost every day. I'm devoted to much walking. The contact sport I love is passionate sex with a healthy man I'm attracted to and who's attracted to me. In the year 2000, I started writing down every penny. I aim to write down every penny I spend for everything. Rent, food, stamps, everything I buy. I learned it from the book Your Money or Your Life. Writing down every penny I spend and adding it up is a wonderful discipline because much of the money most people spend in this country is for crap no one needs. When our loved ones are dying, we need to make sure they know they can talk with us frankly about their dying and their death. They need to know we will not change the subject. We will not walk out of the room if they want to talk about dying and death. And sometimes the dying person wants to talk about dying, but the family cannot handle it. So that the family will bullshit with, you'll soon be up and around, you're looking better every day. And the dying person just wants truth and people who are willing to listen from their hearts to what he or she is feeling without freaking out, without walking out of the room, without changing the subject. To our health, healthy, fresh piss. I drink it every day. Good night.
Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow on by. Sing songs of love, let the music get you high, and when it's said and done, you'll know the sun will shine on. And when it's said and done, you'll know the sun will shine on.